Hi, this is the Bible Touchstone. In my last two videos, I was giving some thoughts on at least the hermeneutical system that seems to be employed in some of the teachers that are promoting the ideas in beyond creation science and old earth and local flood theologies as they relate to preterism and preterist theology. And I wanted to justify the PaRDeS system, or the Torah tradition of interpreting Scripture. Sometimes in the Christian theology it's known as the fourfold biblical system. And I wanted to go over Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14. It says, "Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." Now, although when we read Isaiah, this seems to be fulfilled immediately by the birth of Isaiah's son, Maher-shalal-hash-baz. And the thing is, when we read in Matthew chapter 1:23, it states that Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14 was fulfilled by the virgin birth of Jesus Christ. The central theme of Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14, from a Christian perspective, is undoubtedly a prophetic announcement of the Christ. But the immediate context of prophecy appears to be of the contemporary to the time that it was written. So the tension between these two passages has been the source of considerable debate, and there is only one central theme from a conservative hermeneutics. So first we need to give some general clarifications of Isaiah and the Isaiah account. And we've got to recognize that there was a significant period of conflict as the divided kingdoms of Israel and their neighbors in the last days of the kings of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah. And we see there's parallels with 2 Kings chapter 16 verse 5. And Rezin, the king of the empire of Syria, also called Aram, is allied with Pekah, the king of Israel. And we see this Isaiah chapter 4 verse, or Isaiah chapter 7 verses 4 through 9, and they attempt to capture Jerusalem but fail. And so these are the two tales of smoking firebrands, as it's called in the text. And they attempted to seize Judah and to unite in a military front against Assyria. So the immediate conflict, or the immediate result of this conflict, is the Assyrian capture of most of Israel and the fall of Damascus, the great city of Syria. And Judah was also to share the same fate. Now, God tells Ahaz that he'd send him a sign that this would happen, or at least that alliance, they would be no threat to him if only he would believe and trust in the Lord. But instead, against the command of God, he decided to ally with Assyria. And God had given him a sign for assurance that his kingdom of Judah would be protected. And he's prompted to ask for a sign, but Ahaz refused to, in a convoluted refusal to comply with that divine petition. So God prophesies that not only he will eliminate the threat of the Syrian and Ephraimites of Israel, but he will also direct this threat against Judah. So God gives Judah a sign, or Ahaz a sign of this child, which was a sign of promise, but also one of admonishment. And this was to be fulfilled in Isaiah's own son, as we read on. So eventually Ahaz appeals for an alliance with Assyria, but that falls through, and it eventually leads to for Judah to fall just like the other kingdom. So this conflict here, there's been a case for some Bible teachers and prophecy teachers to make a case for double fulfillment, or already not yet theology, and they claim that Scripture has more than one meaning, and this lends to speculation and eschatological absurdities, and it's the acme of biblical liberalism. So the thing is, using PaRDeS, this is all resolved. because we see that the sud, or the esoteric and the mystery or the secret of this passage, is Christ. We know it's a prophetic announcement of Christ, but there is a plain central theme into the immediate context and the contemporary events of Isaiah chapter 7. And this cannot be dismissed. Just like Genesis, there is a plain meaning to the creation, and there may be practical metaphors or applications to that, or any kind of other significance that is borrowed from that symbolism elsewhere in Scripture, in the Torah and in the New Testament, that doesn't mean that Genesis was never about a literal creation. As always,